like I say, what it comes down to is pretty much you are made of particles that I created at some trillion billion years ago. You are made of the light, the heat, the everything else is made of particles or some sort of, it's particles, I think. But what makes the particles actually, there's some fundamentals about existence, about time, space, about everything. Like I say, there's some fundamentals about time and space that make that make everything possible. That make this e-cigarette possible. The electrons or the energy that's stored inside of the battery, everything that makes this possible is basically like a particle or something. Anyway, some great distance, 50 trillion years ago, basically when I created the second galaxy that's going to hit us or pass by us, basically I understood how everything worked. And basically I created all this and there are other creators, but they don't tell you to destroy or kill or do this or do that. They don't there's no reason. Like I said, what it was there's about 50 or 75 liars or 80 really five of the worst, really big liars. And really what it was they wanted to kill, they wanted to destroy, they wanted to rape whoever they wanted, and they saw all life underneath them as basically like like this, or like, they figured that, there's so many life forms in existence that it doesn't matter if you kill like or whatever to whoever you want, you know and they were just going to do whatever they wanted. It didn't. They felt that it didn't matter how much they lied. It didn't matter how much they stole. It didn't matter how much. They figured that all life was like their little plaything. Anyway, what makes this ring? Because a lot of people were like, this ring is solid. This ring is whatever. This ring. There's a lot of people that were trying to subvert, trying to make people think things, and I was like, no. This ring is not solid. This ring is made of particles. There's particles that make up this ring, and they are all tightly packed together. And that's what makes this ring. Anyway, basically about 50 or 500 years ago or some amount of time ago, basically I was like there's particles. It's science. It's technology. It's just anyway, and there's a bunch that there's like the like Jimmy Carter or Nixon or somebody was like no, we know that this ring is solid. We know that this ring is solid, and he was like preaching and doing this and doing that, and I was like, no, it's particles. They're particles that make this ring, and this stuff is on top is different, but it's not that much different than what makes up this ring. It's just everything is becomes relative when you get up to the really high cycle rate of once when you get up to technology. It's anyway. I was trying to say like it's math, it's this, it's that, it's science, it's technology, and basically these other life forms, they wanted to keep science back. They wanted to hold back history. They wanted to hold back technology. I was like, no, I created 90% of what is everything you think, you see, you feel. It's a creation. It's technology. It's invention. It's math. It's science. It's what's called, and you can understand it too if you just research development, um, particle physics. I said it's all particle physics. You just take particles, little itty bitty, the smallest little bit of this as you possibly can, and by smashing them together, it's magnetism, it's electricity. That's what makes the universe possible. And computers, um, people were like, "How do we do this?" And it's like, well, you write things down in books that you know that are true, like like uh, like when you drop this coin, it falls. You start there, and then you build on that. You can start with experiments if you don't know what you're doing, and then you go to other kind of chemical reactions, like what makes something burn better, you know, and you start building with that, and then you work on past that, and then you eventually get to like computers and when you get up, because basically a computer, anyway, it's really technical. It's kind of like, I tried to explain it to my life forms. I tried to explain it to the humans. I was like, well, it's like this, and basically all that it really is that all these other people, there were these other people, like I said, Nixon. If you go back, you'll find out that Nixon actually pretended to be a scientist, and he was trying to tell the people of Earth that basically all those things in space that you see, you think that there's something out there, but it's really just the light that is coming from our sun hitting particles, and we see it. And then, but people were like, well, obviously, I mean, how about on the backside? And how can we see it there then? And Nixon had an explanation for that too. He was like, well, the light bends around, and then it still illuminates the flakes of dust in the space, and that's why we see those little flakes, those little dots at night. And that's what he said, was that those are just flakes of dust that we see at night that are illuminated, and that's all they are. If we got up there, then we would notice that it's all black all around us. It was Nixon, that was Jimmy Carter, that was them. And it's like, I will get up there and I will show you myself. They just wanted to, like, it just pissed me off. Because it's like, you fucking pieces of shit. Those little light things are just like the sun. And they were trying to say that, anyway, they were just trying to fuck with people. And they were teaching this in school, and they tried to make people, I was like, no, that sun is just like the Earth about a couple trillion years ago. We cooled off a fusion reactor. That's all it is. This is a foundry and a metal and a fusion reactor, and that's all the Earth is. It's just matter. It's just particle physics. And basically Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon was out there going, like this, trying to get people to not believe in science, not believe in working together. They're trying to just, do this thing. Now, they didn't care. They were going to kill everyone anyway. So, and they were basically just going from town to town. They would just kill the adults, leave the children, pay people to be there to tell their bullshit story. That's all they were doing. And they're like, well, as long as nobody will know, the kid won't know what's going on with his planet, as long as blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, of course I knew. I mean, I actually knew from before. Anyway, and it's just Rodney and Rick Bush and Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, and they're just trying to do this stupid fucking thing that eventually got them tortured for 1,000 years anyway. So, it's just like, well, it didn't work, doesn't work, can't work, but, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's what they did, and basically it caused this big old nightmare, and whatever.